USC football adds a top 25 recruit. The Kings tout a part of their prospect pool, forgetting what happened the last time they had an abundance of talent for the future. And if you're going to watch the Summer League, get ready. It's going to be all about Bronny James again. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is July 5th, 2025. While the rest of America enjoyed a day off to celebrate the greatest country on earth, sports writers from across America wasted valuable keyboard time fantasizing about false LeBron James trades. Again, based on nothing. We've been talking about it way too much. We're not going to entertain it today. So if you like being in the know about real LA sports news, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Houston 18, Dodgers 1. Ick. That loss was as gross as, I don't know, eating about 70 and a half hot dogs in one sitting. Meanwhile, the LA Galaxy finally behaved like a defending champion. They shut out Vancouver 3-0. Meanwhile, today, Houston's at the Dodgers again at 4:15. The Sparks are at Indiana at 4, and LAFC is at Austin. That kicks off at 5:30. What do you say we get to the news? I'm impressed. Even on Independence Day, USC football recruiters did not take a day off. Four-star wide receiver Ethan Feaster from Texas pledged to the Trojans in the class of 2026. And I like this for a number of reasons. Oh, sure, you may think, dude, how many people do they have to have? But this one I like in particular. I like it because USC is super focused on improving this program. They are not taking holidays off. Number two, he's in the top 25 overall prospects. So saith ESPN. And the third reason I like the move, he calls himself Booby. And for reasons I can't explain, that makes me miss my wife. Feaster said he's coming to USC because, quote, they're going to put me in the best position to go in the first round, unquote. He added that Lincoln Riley will always have a quarterback and will always focus on the passing game. Now, the Trojans overall have 31 pledges, clearly the number one recruiting class in the nation. The Athletic is claiming that 21 of these recruits are quote-unquote blue chippers, but they don't really go on to define what qualifies as a blue chipper. 9 of the prospects are among the nation's top 100. Now, we've been talking about this at length, how amazeballs USC has been. So what makes them number one? Can anybody catch the men of Troy? It's possible. But Georgia, which is number 2, strong class, 26 commits. So they got some catching up to do. I am not happy about reporting this, but the LA Daily News is claiming that the Kings have one of the best goalie pipelines in the NHL. Now look, I get the allure. I get the reason that they would want to focus on goaltending. The Kings have tried to anoint no fewer than 6 heir apparents to Jonathan Quick, and they're still nowhere near finding a long-term solution. But it wasn't that long ago when we were all told the Kings had the creme de la creme, platinum, not just silver and black like they're wearing now. No. Platinum on top of chrome, on top of platinum, on top of white gold. That's how valuable the Kings prospect pool was. The best in the NHL, and Rob Blake flushed almost all of them away for Pierre-Luc Dubois and 9 goals in one season. So when you start telling me about how great the Kings are in the minor leagues, I start twitching a little bit. It doesn't make me feel good. Now, scouting director Mark Yannetti surely makes sense in describing the need for a prospect pool in the net. Quote, with the volatility of prospects and players being moved, I don't think you can ever have too much, unquote. We've talked about the horse race last year, about how 3 netminders will be battling it out. There could be a 4th. We already know about Eric Portillo. The guy made his NHL debut last year, but he's currently injured. Hampton Slakinski. We talked about him because his college team reached the NCAA Frozen Four earlier this year. Carter George, 2nd-round draft pick. And a 4th person that might wind up adding his name into the competition is Petteri Rimpinen, who was selected in the 5th round, voted the best goaltender in the World Junior Championships. So, super tempting to get out over our skis here and talk about how the next great goalie for the Kings is just a hair's breadth away. But keep in mind, the LA Kings haven't exactly been known for goaltending. Jonathan Quick was the anomaly. And we also know what happens when the Kings have riches at any point in their recruiting pool. By the way, we have discussed how many people, myself included, have been profoundly disappointed with the Kings offseason. The Athletic didn't go as hardcore in their criticism. They graded the Kings offseason a C-, and they made 2 points. 1, come on, guys. Let the newbies play a game or 2 first. Besides, point number 2, the 4th line, oh, that's instantly better now. Now look, I kind of understand the first point. Kinda. Yeah, you don't want to just throw too much dirt on people until they actually show what they have. But that second point about the 4th line, total non-starter. Don't even bring that up. 4th lines do not impact the game nearly as much as the first, because by definition, it is the 4th best line. The last. Just because you're better at being last doesn't mean that that's an improvement. Moreover, the problem the Kings have had has been getting out of the first round of the playoffs. How do you envision that last line being the difference maker there? Care to explain? Bottom line is this. The Kings last year earned 105 points in the regular season, and they downgraded 1/4 of its roster. So no. I get that you don't want to automatically give them the F, but let's not try to put any spin on this. That was bad. Since the Lakers' only draft pick, Adu Thiero, won't be able to participate in NBA Summer League over in Las Vegas, Bronny James and Dalton Connect will return and will be the focal point. And by that, I mean Bronny James is going to be the focal point. And in this case, I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. Both James and Connect told the LA Times how much they've matured in the last 12 months. I could go through all the obvious cliches. Let's cut out the happy talk and just get to the point. The Lakers know what they have in Dalton Connect. They know. The fact that he's in Summer League might be a little redundant, a little bit useless, but he was talking about how literally when the season ended, he wanted to get right back to work. So you may as well put him on a court. But no, this is about LeBron's son. Now, last year it was all about LeBron's son, but that was just for the hype. ESPN, Fox Sports, you name the outlet, they could not stop talking about, oh, how sweet it is. LeBron and Bronny could be on the same court. And it was all hype. That dude couldn't shoot. I went to Summer League last year. I saw a couple of Lakers games. Dalton Connect started to piece it together. Bronny James couldn't shoot. He told the LA Times it was due to nerves. So now what we need to see is if there's anything resembling improvement. This isn't going to be about hype. This is going to be about, okay, you've had a year. Have you actually learned anything? Now, for his part, James said his goal is to, quote, be disruptive on the defensive end, unquote, which is kind of helpful. But to be in the NBA, unless you are super elite on defense like a Dennis Rodman, to be in the NBA, you got to shoot, dude. You got to shoot. Speaking of Summer League, Kobe Johnson, former UCLA and USC player, signed by Atlanta after not getting drafted. He's obviously going to be playing in NBA Summer League, but he's not going to be the only former Bruin that gets a look. Lazar Stefanovic has received an invite from the Orlando Magic to take part. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about USC football not taking a day off because they got a point to prove. And for that matter, out of all the Kings goalies, have you seen any of them? And who would you like to see become the next number one in between the pipes for the Kings? If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.